Welcome back to this Rift Let's Play. You're Sambo, and joining me, as always, is Tallahassee, the spellcasting, nipple-bearing Roman gladiator. How are you this evening, my friend?
Yeah, I'm not bad.
What a classic. Oh dear, I must
say...
Did
I throw you off?
Yeah, you tried to throw me off. You definitely did. Mind you, what's putting me off even more at the moment, aside from your nipples, is the incredible view. Will you look at that? What an absolutely epic view. I mean, over here we've got snowy mountains in the background. We've got Tallahassee with his pants off. I saw it that time.
You said an incredible view.
That certainly is an incredible view. My God, looked like you were wearing a skirt there for a second. Can you believe it?
I know, this isn't very manly.
It's not very manly. You look like something out of... What's that show that's on the Gladiator show? I can't remember its name. And it's got Lucy Lawless in it.
Yeah, Spartacus Blood on the Sand.
Spartacus Blood of the Sand. Thank you very much. You look like you're someone out of that. Looks fantastic. Looks incredible. And of course,
now, people, if you want, that show is a great source of Norgs.
Yeah, Norks. I haven't heard that term for ages. But apart from Tallahassee's Norks and his pantless legs, look at the view in the background there. I mean, it's just incredible. We've got the bridge, the architecture, the epic sky, the view just rolling out way off into the distance there as far as the eye can see. And of course, we've been here before, but we've never been able to see quite this far into the distance because we were here when the World event was on in Tallahassee. That's when there was basically that big sort of fog rolling in everywhere, and so it still looked really cool in here, but it looked nothing like this. And you know what? Count me impressed. This is just stunning. So there you go. All right, it's enough waxing lyrical about our environs. And by the way, we've got someone whispering us here. Safaris, sorry, I can't pronounce your name quite right. And of course, it's Deacon. Hello to you. Shout out to you. Welcome to the guild once again. And yes, good evening or good morning, whatever it is for you. Now, Tallahassee, we've got a couple of things to do here in this episode. Obviously, we've got some hand-ins. If you have a look on the map, folks, where we are, we're in Gloamwood Pines. You can see we've got a hand-in right next to us here. A couple up north, still in Gloamwood Pines. And I've got some glowing mail, so we've got to go check the mailbox, and then we're going to head up north into this zone up here, right up near these quests there. What are they? Yeah, speak with the Waykeeper near Darkening Deeps. And of course, Darkening Deeps, you'll remember from a few episodes ago, is an instance that we ran, and we've got to come up here also and kill some more Blackroot Treants as well. So what do you think? We start off with handing in this nearby quest. Probably the most logical thing. Do you know, is there, I guess there's a mailbox around here somewhere as well, is there?
Are you here to help?
There is. It's back at the inn.
Oh, good stuff. Which makes sense. Okay, now we've got to speak with Laria at the forest altar. Oh, I don't know where that is. Yeah, that's where we were last time. And it's that glowing altar, of course, out in the forest. Alright, so now we need to, head north a little bit, still in the village. But just a little bit north, and I guess that's where the inn is it?
That is correct.
Alright. And look at that. Now, by the way, what is that big structure up the back there? Can you actually get up there? It looks like there's a road going up, but can you climb up there?
You can get up there, and you spend a lot of time running up and down a bit later on. Oh,
okay, cool. So we're going to get to see it a bit later. And here we are at the inn, and we've got some quests to hand in. Here we are, Wrangler Dane. Oh, this guy with his stripy clown pants. That's right, I remember him from a couple of episodes ago. Obviously handing that quest back in. There we go, lots of yummy XP. And of course, it doesn't make a very big impact on our XP bar. I'm only halfway through level 26.
Are you here to help?
Never mind. Thank you for bringing me the charm.
We will find victory.
No problems. There we go. Oh, I see what's going on in guild chat. I don't know if you saw that, Tallahassee. Oh, classic. Here we go. What's he saying? Hi, Deacon. Tallahassee, what's up? Filming, yes, blah, blah, talking. But he's saying here, don't tell Seraphis that my name is his name backwards, sort of. And it is Seraphis. Oh, okay, I see it. Very funny, very funny. All right. That was good. I didn't even notice that. Gosh, it looks fantastic here. Hey, you know what? Look at these mounts here, these normal horse mounts. You know, I've still got a hankering for just a good old-fashioned horse mount, by the way. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't mind that. Now, where is... Oh, here we go. Mailbox time. Right, here we go. Looking through our mail, and what do we got here? Razus. Razus, a big shout out to you. Thank you so much for helping me on the decision. Oh, Tallahassee, you are going to love this mail from one of our viewers here named Razus, and a big shout out to you. Thank you so much for helping me on the decision between WoW and Rift. And I ended up picking this up earlier than I thought, and I picked it up on the 25th, and I am in love. Thank you so much to you guys. I do not regret getting this. So there you go, Tallahassee. Your crusade for Rift versus WoW is clearly paying off. Well done. Another convert. And in fact, speaking of Seraphis Backwards and Deacon, found you. I don't know if you have these already, but just in case you don't, here's some shiny items for you. There we go. He sent me through an Elixir of the Endless, which is an artifact. I don't think I have that one. And another artifact as well, the Shade Harbinger artifacts. Let's use them straight away. Oh, where did they go on my bags? Oh, you know what? I've got to sort out my bags so that when something goes into them, I don't lose them. Anyway, there we go. Alright, yes, we can definitely use that artifact. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Now, where did the other one go? Oh, no, I can't find it. I hate when that happens. Now, Tallahassee, how do I search for an artifact using the search tool in my bag? Is it possible?
Yeah, you just click on the little search button.
Yep.
Or Control F, and it'll find what's in there.
So, can I actually type artifact? Now, let's try this. Oh, you can! Look at that, folks! It's actually grayed out everything except an artifact. That is fantastic. So there we go. We'll use that one there, and boom. We didn't have that one. So thank you very, very much for those artifacts. We really appreciate it, because of course you know I'm an artifact whore, basically. I love me some collectibles. Alright, Tallahassee, where are we headed? Wow! Wow, look at the lighting here. It's incredible. Look at that. Oh, I love it. So we're heading up. This is a road that we haven't headed up before, I think. Some new way to go.
Yeah, it's a new road.
Well, oh, I see. All roads seem to lead to Rome. Yeah. Wow. And look at that. There's a big swing bridge over there. Just loving this zone. So, folks, if you're questing through, let's have a look here, questing through Silverwood, and you're getting at the end of your tether because you've been there too long, don't worry, it's well worth it, because you end up here and it's just fantastic. And, of course, after spending so much time in Silverwood, doing something like this just feels so refreshing. It's amazing. It's all green and... yeah, I think we were saying last week, Tallahassee, it's kind of like Hammer horror type stuff. You got werewolves. Actually, I heard a rumor that there's vampires in this zone as well. Is that right?
Yes, there are.
Ooh, okay, can't wait to see them. I bet vampires look awesome in this game too, judging on all the creature design that we've seen so far. And look, that's that Stonehenge type thing. What on earth is that? Do we get to quest around there later?
We actually will get to do some questing around there a bit later on.
Cool. Oh, there's a quest over there. Oh, hang on, that's a different forest altar. Okay, that's somewhere different. I thought we were going somewhere else. Wow. Cool. And of course,
I'm sending us on the right track, aren't I? Yes, I am.
Yeah, well, actually, I was thinking we were heading... Well, we've got to head over there. And we've also got to head to Darkening Deeps over there. And then there's also one coming up to our west as well. Oh, now, I should probably actually buff our fine mate Tallahassee. Give him, of course, Synthesis. Make sure also that we are rocking the buff that we need in order to make that work properly, which is Lifebound Veil, of course. So there we go, Lifebound Veil. We'll give that to ourselves. Also give ourselves some mage armor there. Wow, look at that. That's what... Now, the werewolves have that effect, don't they? That sort of electrified field. So amazing.
Yeah, and he's actually a rare.
Oh, is it? Now, I unfortunately didn't have him targeted. Let me do that now. How do you know it's a... Oh, is it because of that that jewel at the top of its portrait? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go, folks. A rare
and you should be able to skin him as well.
Ooh. All right, let's see what happens there. So obviously, yes, I can skin him. Great. Okay, so because he's a rare, I guess it works like most other MMOs. That if you do manage to take down a rare, you basically got a guaranteed chance of a green drop, I guess, because that's what happened.
Yep. And there's actually an achievement for killing all the rare spawns as well in the zone.
Okay.
Are you here to help?
Light the campfire at Rotshell's campsite.
Best of luck.
Alright, so we've got a wandering quest there. Oh, it's just off to the side by the looks of things. Oh, cool. Alright, here we go. Tallahassee can do the honours there. Eek! Alright, someone's not happy about that. A whole bunch of ghosts spawning. And always, look at the amazing particle effects that we've got going on here. Great spell effects. And, of course, managing to get a really decent frame rate now because, of course, we're playing post patch 1.4. And if you were with us in the last episode, you'll remember that Tallahassee and I were discussing how we're pretty sure that there's been a whole bunch of optimizations go on in the game because it's certainly running silky smooth at the moment, which, of course, is always welcome. Now, one thing I'd like to hear from you guys at home, and by the way, welcome to this episode. If you're running a lower spec computer, as we pick up these quests here, if you're running a lower spec computer, I'd like to hear from you. If you don't mind, if you're running something that's, you know, at least a couple of years old in terms of system specs, and I'm sure there's a bunch of you out there who are, because we can't all be like Tallahassee and keep up with the latest and greatest of technology, let us know...
Hey.
What?
I was running a PC that was well over 5 years old before
you upgraded?
This one. And Rift used to run fine, so...
Yeah, there you go. And of course that's what...
in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah! Well, that's a good indication, of course, of how it does run. Oh, here we go. What's this? This is a engineered ward stone. There we go. Foothold defeated. Because, of course, if we can knock that one out, then we will stop an invasion coming in. So it's always worth taking them out if you come across one. But there you go. So, like Tallahassee says, it used to run fine on his older PC. Oh, got some butchering there. I'd love to hear from you guys watching. If you're running an older PC, let us know in the comments if you're playing Rift and what sort of settings you get to run it on, and if it actually scales quite well, and if it runs fine on older hardware. Of course, that's not saying that if you have the latest and greatest, it's going to look fantastic, but how does it look for you on something less than stellar? And look at this in the background. How are those mountains in the background? I know you're fighting, but they look epic. The sense of scale on those is just huge. Do we actually get to go into those mountains?
Yeah, we get to go pretty much everywhere. And plus you can run across the top of them and stuff like that as well.
Wow. Certainly can't wait, because of course snow is one of my favourite zones in all MMOs. Love me some snow. Alright, got a bit of butchering to do here. Oh, Unblemished Pelt offers a quest. How's that? One of the benefits from skinning, I guess. Now let's use this search thing here. Try and find Pelt. P-E-L, there it is. Gosh, oh, what? You do not meet the item requirements. Requires butchering 115. Oh, we'll have to keep that until we level up our butchering. Yeah, that looks incredible, those mountains in the background. They look so realistic. It's amazing. Now, just to confirm, Tallahassee...
I'm serious, they must have like a cartographer or something like that on staff that just gets this sort of stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're absolutely right, because it just looks real. I mean, I don't know. There's something about it that, and we've spoken about this before. The shading, the ups and downs on the zones. You know, when there's a river, there's a basin, and just you're dead right. Like a cartographer, indeed, would be the sort of person or the sort of skills that you'd imagine would be able to design this sort of stuff. Because I don't know about you, but a lot of games, you can tell that basically someone's just got into a generic map editor and has just sort of carved out nooks and crannies everywhere, and it doesn't look very realistic at all. Yet here, you're right, it looks like it could be a map. It's amazing. I wonder if they actually used the real world to actually design it. Maybe they did. Who knows?
You'd sort of hope so, wouldn't you?
Well, I guess so. I guess it all comes down to budget, and that's what Trion seem to have copious amounts of, which is why I absolutely don't mind paying my $15 a month subscription fee in order to pump that money in and get great content back out, because that's the way it works, folks. Now, something I keep forgetting to ask you, Tallahassee, because you may know. Oh, and that's the other thing, by the way. Listen to that. Can you hear that? You've got the water lapping at the edge there. Great sound effect design in this game as well. Trion, let me get this right. Was this game actually designed in the US, or is it actually, are its roots Asian? Do you know? Because is Trion an American company?
I have no idea.
Right. Because it just seems to
I
me...
assume it's American.
Well, I'm pretty sure it is. It's just that
Because
a lot
all the
of...
developers that I've heard talk are, American.
Yeah, well, it's just that a lot of companies seem to basically farm out the work to, and I'm absolutely not being a racist or anything here, it's just a fact. They seem to farm out the work to basically, Asian sweat houses is the way I would put it, I guess, where basically it's an American company, but they go for cheap labor overseas, and especially in a lot of the Asian countries, where they have artists slaving away sort of 16 to 20 hour days. And of course, even though the company is American, the game ends up looking very, stereotypically Asian in terms of that Korean sort of grindy MMO look. We've got a totem there. There we go. And there's a number of titles that have actually ended up looking that way. But this doesn't look like that. This looks like it's definitely got a Western influence, if you ask me. So it'd be interesting. Maybe some of you guys at home might know the answer to that as well. Is this an American company, and is the actual work done in the US, or is it farmed out? I'd really like to know that. Right, so here we go, folks. You can see here that we're trying to...
assume that it's American.
Yeah, I'm going to assume the same as well. We're in this zone trying to collect dusk bat wings. We're up to 4 of 6. And these are interesting sort of mobs as well. They almost look like the Trion take on Naga, kind of. They look very Naga-ish. And there we go.
I was trying to think of another name for them.
Yeah.
But I guess Naga sort of fits.
Yeah, sort of lizardy, water-based, slithery things. There we go. There's another dusk bat over there. We're on 5 of 6 of those. Nearly done. And of course we had to kill those Rotshell Grumblers as well for the quests. Go Slim, do your thing.
Slim does something.
Don't knock Slim.
I'm not knocking Slim, I'm knocking his controller.
Alright, you're allowed to do that. We'll let you away with that. Oh, look at that fog on the ground over there. Gosh, it's just brilliant, isn't it? I would love to know how long this game was in development. I mean, I remember hearing about it a couple of years ago now, but I'd imagine that it had already been long in development well before we ever heard anything as well. Can you imagine how many man-hours it would take to create a game like this with all the texture work, all the modelling, all the scripting, all the lore, all the sound effects, all the internal systems? It just, no wonder they're multi-million-dollar projects now. Apparently it It costs as much to make an MMO now as it does a major blockbuster movie. That's what I heard. There you go, blood on the water.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. Hundreds and hundreds of hours. I'd say it'd be the man-hours of labour that would be the biggest cost there. Alright, place the teardrop talisman on somebody's body, and we have to kill Mudscale Vipers and Mudscale Bilefangs. And of course that was those Naga-ish creatures that we were just killing before. Where's he gone? There he is.
See, guys, aren't you glad I know where I'm going?
Yeah, actually I'm kind of glad. You're like a built-in GPS, basically. No complaints from me. Ooh, little secret area. Cool. Place the teardrop talisman on Luce's body. Aha. Now, Tallahassee, we've got a question for you that came in between our filming series, and that was, oh, what's this? An artifact! Woohoo!
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Thank you for freeing me. I think I've got to do it as well. There we go. Now, yes, a question has come in from one of our viewers. They sent me a PM on YouTube, and they had a question for you, and that was that they wanted you to, wanted you to protect me from being killed, as always.
I'm sure they did.
Get rid of this pesty mob here. Right, now the question for you was, firstly, what was your... Now, this is a two-part question. The first part of it, and it's a great question too, by the way, and I can't remember who asked it, sadly, so I'm very sorry. If it's you, then put your name in the comments below, please, so we know.
No, it wasn't me.
Not you. If it's you watching at home that asked this question, please put your hand up.
Sambo.
The question is, firstly, what is your first memory, your first recollection of the very first time you ever heard about the concept of MMOs, and what was that MMO? And second part of the question was, what was the very first MMO that you ever played? Even if it was just only for an hour, you don't necessarily have to have had a long stretch playing it, but what was the very first MMO you played? Different perhaps from your very first exposure to MMOs in general. Do you remember that far back?
I do. The first MMO that I heard about was a game called EverQuest.
Good old EQ. Evercrack.
Yeah, I never played it, mainly because I only had 56k for a long time.
56k modem. Gosh, you know what? I bet a lot of our viewers wouldn't even know what that is.
The kids back home may not actually remember what that is.
Yeah. We both said the same thing. Classics like 56k modems and vinyl records. And a lot of people go, huh? What are those? Well, there you go.
Well,
so
you see, that was the thing. I actually had a 28.8k modem for...
Wow.
God, for ages. And then I was working, so I was earning my own money, So I decided I'm going to splash out and buy myself a 56k modem.
Right, ultra tech, ultra high speed, and of course, if you're talking about those sort of days, I don't know if maybe you're not quite of the same age bracket. I don't know, but do you ever remember good old bulletin boards? And if so, did you actually used to take part in them?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, alright, so I'm showing my age there. I used to spend a lot of time on the good old BBSs, and of course that was basically pre the internet. There you go, giving it all away now. So that was before the internet was a big thing. Yep, used to have to hop onto bulletin boards, dialing up with, get this, a 14.4k modem. Crazy stuff.
Jesus Christ, you're ancient.
Yep, something like that. Anyway, so there you go. Well, you know what? I'd probably almost share your first memories with... And gosh, it's amazing swimming underwater in this game, isn't it? With MMOs. EverQuest was one of my first ones as well. In terms of a fully fledged 3D environment MMO, and of course we're not talking about MUDs here. I mean, I remember, what was it called? I can't remember what the MUD was, but it was a text-based game that was multiplayer, a multi-user dimensional dungeon or something like that. And that was incredible at the time. But then, yes, EQ came out and you could actually see your character and roam around in a 3D world. And in fact, as I'm sure you know, Tallahassee, EQ1, of course there's EQ2 now, which has been going for a good number of years, which I actually quite enjoy, but EQ1 is still fully supported by SOE and is still running under subscription to this very day. So there you go. Alright, so the second part of the question was, what was the very first MMO that you actually played for any length of time?
That was World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. Alright, I think a lot of people are in the same boat. And no matter what you say about WoW, it definitely, I think, takes the accolade of bringing MMO gaming to the mainstream. I mean, there were a lot of people, because of course EQ1 was extremely hardcore and absolutely not for everybody. There would have been a lot of people who would have tried it and then gone, oh gosh, this is horrible. But in terms of bringing casual gamers and just, your average Joe Blow gamers like us, I guess, to the MMO sphere, you certainly can't deny the fact that WoW did that to a T. It actually brought that whole genre to the millions.
If you really look at it, vanilla World of Warcraft is probably the most hardcore MMO out.
Well, actually, now you come to mention it.
If you think about it, it's 40-man raids, which
true.
is ridiculous. And you've also got, these quest lines which take you across so many bloody continents, it's not funny.
That's right, there was actually, you know what? I always used to think, oh gosh, EQ1 is so hardcore, but you are absolutely right. I mean, the running around you had to do in vanilla WoW, and like you say, the 40-mans were just insane.
They were crazy.
In fact, I mean, let's rattle off a couple. You must have some hideous memories of some crazy 40-man runs over. I mean, did you used to have to run them with your guild on the weekends, or split them up over weeknights and stuff? Yeah, so it was basically like marathons, wasn't it? Like you'd have to make sure that you had eaten, and I mean, some of them would go for hours.
What I used to do was I would go to work, come home, eat.
Yep.
Then, I'd eat as soon as I came home, so I was coming home at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'd be home, I'd eat by 5:30, I'd go ahead and I'd farm. An hour and a half, 2 hours.
Now, I know why you were farming.
The raids would start at 8:30.
Well, hang on. For those of us who were never into the whole raid scene, they'll be thinking, why would you farm? What are you talking about, Farmville? What, you care to explain that? Because you're right, that was a big part of the pre-setup, wasn't it, for raiding?
Yeah, it was a massive part of the pre-raiding. We actually had farming groups that would go out together. So we'd go out to get orbs. There was a Crusader orbs, I think they were called.
Yep, Crusader orbs.
That you had to do Strat Live to do.
Oh, yep, Strathome. Yep, the live side. That's right. Oh God, this is bringing back memories. And of course.
Yep. So we had to go do that.
And why were you farming? What were you farming, and what for?
So everyone had the best possible enchants on their gear.
That's the one.
But also that way people would have gear that way that we could then go ahead and disenchant again for mats.
Yep.
Plus there were people that were going out specifically looking for different types of ore to make gear.
Yep.
So thorium, that was pretty much the top end, and the one that you had to transmute. So we actually had people that all they did with their transmutes to create Arcanite, all they do is just that.
And that was their job.
The guild.
Yep, that was their actual job.
That was their job in the guild.
And of course, the other thing that you'd have to get to go along on your raids would be
herbs.
Yeah, Herb, and don't forget the flasks.
Yeah, well, you'd have to get... Actually, back then it wasn't flasks, it was just pots.
Oh,
The dragon.
yeah, actually, you're right. It was just pots, wasn't it?
Good to see you.
There was no such thing as a
Journey well.
herb back then, you know? Well, as a flask back then, it was all pots.
Yep.
And it would take forever. Now, I started off on a PvP,
Oh,
server.
no. Really?
So everyone was going after the same sort of things.
Yep. Oop, got an achievement, sorry.
And-
Family matters. Nice. Yeah.
It would turn into just the worst sort of ganking.
Best of luck.
Yeah. And then having to go into MC if it was MC night.
Hello.
Generally MC would happen on the Monday
Travels
and then the
well.
Tuesday night before shutdown.
Good prices
Yep.
for quality wares.
There'd always be other guilds doing the same thing. And what you'd end
I
up
am
with
always
inside the
open for
Molten
customers
Expanse
like you.
is basically like 80 odd people all lagging each other out, all doing PvP.
Oh, the good
And what
old
would happen
days.
is there'd be groups of priests because everyone had priests.
Yep.
They'd all try to mind control each other off the edge of the Molten Expanse.
You know what? Hearing all of these stories, it's just bringing back... You know what? Actually, it's bringing back, in a way, horrific memories, but at the same time, just fantastic memories of those
Can't.
days. They were very epic. You
can't trade it.
No. I mean, they were just epic days, and I'll never forget all of those. And of course, you're absolutely right about the whole PvP side of things, because I think Blizzard deliberately set that up so that you had to go farm. And of course, if you're on a PvP server, you're competing for all of those things. So you're trying to get ready for your raid. You're getting ganked. You've got griefers who are sort of trying to make it hard for you. You know what? What you said a couple of minutes ago, Vanilla WoW is hardcore. I would have to agree with you. It's just as hard as something like EQ1. In fact, you know what? I actually miss that in a way, without wanting to sound like a complete twat. I actually do miss those days because, and I'd be interested to see if you agree with me or not, just because you felt like you actually, when you won something or won a piece of gear, you actually felt like you'd worked for it and it was a real achievement. Well, that's what I think anyway.
It felt like it mattered and it made a difference to the world.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Does that make sense? I mean,
Yeah.
people out there in the world, like watching, are going to be going, Tallahassee, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
But things like the lead up to AQ40,
Oh, yeah.
that took months.
Yep.
It took months. It took all the top guilds on my server coordinating to be actually able to go ahead and get the gates open.
Yep.
It didn't stop us from going ahead and wrecking each other's shit when the gates opened
Yeah.
at that big event.
But you actually
Seriously,
found
I think I spent more time killing other players than what I did actually doing the event.
I think you wouldn't be the only one. But like you say, there was that whole coordination. Everyone had that same common goal, which, by the way, is sort of why the rifting in this game harks back to those days, because you find that sense of community and people coming together for the common cause and trying to defend our lands and all that sort of stuff, which is what I was talking about in the last episode about that feeling that you get that's written on the back of the box of every RPG saying, hey, live an epic adventure, go on an epic journey, be a saviour of your world, and then you get in the game and all you do is go quest, cookie cutter, and you don't feel epic at all. But things like rifts in this game sort of bring back that, well, actually I'm making a difference type of feeling, which is exactly what you're talking about in the early days of WoW. I would absolutely love there to be a classic WoW server. I've always wondered why Blizzard don't make one, to be honest. I wonder why they're, just a couple of them. What possible reason could they have for not making one?
What I'd love is just 2 classic servers, but I think they'd lose a lot of people because, let's face it, it's intimidating to go ahead and do.
What the content?
Just the instances the instances are hard. You've got to remember that those instances are hard.
Yep, that's true. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know your class, the crowd control, etc.,
Yeah,
etc.
you have to know. You have to know what the other classes do as well.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
You know, it's hard. I mean, you know, you only have, let's say, at most for a warrior, I had 12k raid buffed.
Yep, 10k unbuffed. That'll be about right, and that's good too. That's a solid tank.
That was high end, you know.
Yep.
And now you have a look at it, and you're getting sort of that much health from a shield.
Yeah. Well, in fact, it's funny you say that
game.
because I was running something in the Firelands the other night, and I had a few buffs on me, and I actually tipped over, get this, 200,000 hit points, which is ridiculous. 200k.
See, you would have been thinking about this. You would have been a boss in an instance.
Yeah, back in the day, absolutely. So it's gone
Thinking
crazy.
sort of mid-30s.
Yeah.
Mid-30s sort of boss.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It was a Razor Fen Crawl, the last boss in there, the mage guy.
Oh yes. Yep.
The Lich.
Yep, that's
yeah,
right.
that is about 200,000k.
Funny, eh? It's so funny when you think about it like that. Oh, good old days reminiscing on MMOs. But look, you know, it's an interesting conversation to have, folks. And of course, a lot of you who are younger, perhaps, or who weren't around in the early days of WoW would have missed out on all of that. So I do think it's interesting hearing what it was like back in the day, that's for sure. All right, so we need to wrap up this episode.
It's changed a lot.
Good. It is. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But look, that's what I like about Rift. It's got a mixture of your sort of theme park stuff as well as the sort of feeling of the open world old school as well. Nice blend of them both. So it seems to cater to both parties, and that's why they've done so well. And they definitely deserve accolades. All right, so now, what would you like to do? We've got a quest to hand in, I see, down there in Gloamwood Pines. We're about to run out of time. Do we stay up here so that we can hit this area where we've got more quests in the next episode, or do we run all the way back to Gloamwood and hand in that solitary quest? What do you think?
We'll hand in that quest in Gloamwood Pines because we still need to go north up the narrowing trail as well.
Oh, okay. What's the narrowing trail? Is that to the darkening deeps?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, mount up, kind sir. Let's go for a run to close off the episode, perhaps. Now, while we
Run? Soul Recall, yo.
Okay, I have to run because my soul recall is in Argent Glade. Whoops. Shall I set mine at Gloamwood Pines, perhaps?
That'd be nice. I'll follow you along, just in case you get into trouble, which you will.
Oh, gee. Thank you. My pocket tank. Sorry about that. Remind me when we get there to set my bloomin' Hearthstone. Good lord. Now, before we do finish off, though, I know that you've got something that you'd like to do as a little supplementary piece of content for our channel. Do you want to explain that to us?
Okay. This world is full of content, and one of the things that it has got in it is puzzles.
Puzzles!
And what they tend to give you is a nice blue item, or in some cases an epic.
Whoa. Cool.
And they're basically for your level, so they're well worth doing.
All right, and of course, I think we mentioned these in an episode a couple of episodes ago, where you were saying that basically they appear randomly in the world. Like you don't get a quest leading you to them, do you?
No, you don't get a quest leading you to them. They're generally going to be in sort of the last quest area that you do for a zone.
Ah, okay. And so they just exist in the world, basically.
Yeah, they just exist in the world. Some of them are actually pretty difficult.
All right.
And there's one that I saw OFMG Kata do.
Yeah.
And it was him having to chase a rabbit out of a maze.
Oh, okay. All right, because I was going to say what sort of content is it. But all right, that's cool. So it's just nice little quirky, silly puzzles type things. Little, almost like mini games, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right.
So the one that we're going to do next is the one in Silverwood.
Cool.
Hello.
Well, that'll be something to look forward to, folks. We'll make that a little short, I presume it won't be very long, a nice little short supplemental episode there to the series, just for something different to do. So you'll be able to head on over and check it out for yourself as well. All right, now, where's the soul recall? That's what I need.
Is over where I am.
All
Young
right.
man.
Young man, and for some reason my frame rate has gone to 1. That'll be good old Vista doing its thing, no doubt. Oh, and it's back. There we go.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've got 60 frames per second.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you so much. I'd love that. I'd love it so much. All right, now, who do I have to talk to set my Hearthstone? Oh, wait a minute. Isn't it the innkeeper?
Susie Vega.
Oh, that's her. Particular
Welcome.
master. Oh, there we go. Bind my soul. Bind your soul to Gloamwood Pines, currently bound to Argent Glade. Yes, thank you very much. Whoa! That was a cool effect, cool sound effect as well. Alright, we're all done. So, it looks like, folks, for the next major episode, we're going to head up north, like Tallahassee said here, to the Darkening Deeps. And then, of course, we'll probably head over, well, I imagine we'll get a whole bunch of quests up there. And then you can see we've got a bunch of quests over to the west as we are, well, we're getting near the end of Gloamwood by the looks of things. So that'll be something to look forward to in the next episode. Although until then, we'll do this little supplemental thing with the puzzle. Tallahassee will take us back to Silverwood and we can find out what it is in terms of the minigame. So looking forward to doing that as well. In the meantime, folks, thank you very much for joining us. We do appreciate you watching, and of course certainly hope you're having a great day wherever you are. On behalf of myself, Sambo, and the nipple-bearing Tallahassee, it's us saying take care. We'll see you later, and bye-bye.